A young, arrogant candidate believes his connections and privilege will secure him a top role at New York's leading tech firm, only to discover the humble black man he mocked is the CEO. Will he learn the lesson before it's too late? Let's find out. The sun rises over New York City, painting the skyline with hues of orange and gold. The city hums to life as the streets fill with people hurrying to work, and the towering skyscrapers stand as monuments to the fast-paced world of business and technology. In the heart of this vibrant metropolis sits Tech Innovate, the most successful technology company in the city, known for its cutting-edge solutions and diverse, inclusive work culture. Today is a particularly significant day for the company. It's hosting interviews for a senior management position, one that offers not just a high salary but the opportunity to influence the company's direction. The candidates competing for the role are some of the brightest minds in the industry. Among them are people with impressive resumes, degrees from Ivy League schools, and years of experience. The story zooms in on the lobby of Tech Innovate's glass-walled headquarters, where the candidates gather. The atmosphere is charged with excitement and anticipation. Everyone wants to be part of this thriving tech giant. In the midst of the crowd, we meet Ethan Barnes, a tall, confident white man in his early 30s. Dressed in a tailored suit, he exudes an aura of entitlement. His eyes scan the room, evaluating his competition with a smirk that suggests he believes he's already won. Ethan's father is a prominent business mogul, and Ethan has relied heavily on his family's influence throughout his career, confident that his connections will secure the role. As Ethan stands near the coffee bar, stirring his drink, his eyes lock onto a young black man walking in. This man, Marcus Taylor, is dressed in a simple, neat outfit. Nothing flashy, just professional. He walks with an easy grace, his expression calm and composed. He doesn't carry the same air of nervous energy as the other candidates, and this intrigues and irritates Ethan. "Hey, man, you lost or something?" Ethan calls out, his voice dripping with condescension. Marcus looks up, meeting Ethan's gaze with a polite smile. "No, I'm in the right place." Ethan's smile tightens, and he steps closer. "You're here for the interview?" Marcus nods. "Yes, I am." Ethan's eyes narrow, and he can't help but let out a chuckle. "Oh, that's interesting. It's just, I didn't expect this place to be so open to all kinds of people, you know? This is a high-level position, not some entry-level gig." Marcus maintains his calm demeanor, though there's a flicker of something in his eyes. Tech Innovate prides itself on inclusivity and giving everyone a fair chance. Ethan scoffs, leaning in closer as if sharing a secret. Yeah, they say that. But, let's be real, man. This isn't one of those charity cases. They're looking for the best of the best. You sure you're in the right place?" Marcus doesn't flinch. "I am. And I believe in proving myself through my work." Ethan's smirk widens, sensing a chance to establish his dominance. "Well, good luck, then. You're going to need it." The waiting room fills with the sound of conversations, but Marcus keeps to himself, reviewing some notes on his tablet. Ethan, on the other hand, circulates among the candidates, shaking hands and throwing around names of influential people he claims to know. He's a social butterfly, basking in the attention and the perception of his own importance. Eventually, he returns to Marcus, unable to resist the urge to poke further. "You know, if you're here to make a name for yourself, you might want to dress the part," he says, eyeing Marcus's simple attire. "Appearances matter in this industry." Marcus looks up, unbothered by the comment. "I've always believed that what you know is more important than how you look." Ethan laughs, the sound harsh and mocking. "Man, that's a cute philosophy. But in the real world, image is everything." He leans in, lowering his voice. "And if I were you, I'd start worrying. This isn't just about tech skills. It's about fitting the mold. And, let's face it, you and I, we're from two different worlds." Marcus meets his gaze steadily. "That's true. But diversity of thought and background is exactly what helps companies innovate and grow." Ethan rolls his eyes. "Diversity, huh? That's what they teach you in those diversity workshops? Listen, man, I've seen how these things work. When you're at the top, you need to fit a certain image, and that image isn't," he gestures vaguely at Marcus. "Well, it's not you." Marcus smiles faintly. "We'll see." Frustrated by Marcus's calm, Ethan decides to turn up the heat. "So, where'd you go to school?" he asks, feigning interest. City Tech College, Marcus replies, unfazed. Ethan raises his eyebrows, clearly unimpressed. Ah, a community college guy, huh? Wow. I mean, that's great and all, but... Well, I went to Stanford. He pauses, waiting for a reaction. Marcus nods. That's impressive. Ethan continues, sensing no reaction from Marcus. Yeah, it is. And that's the kind of pedigree this company is looking for. People from top schools, with connections and networks. It's all about who you know, man. This isn't a charity. It's business. Marcus's eyes remain steady. I've always believed that what you know and how you use it matters more than where you learned it. Ethan snickers. That's cute. Well, good luck with that approach. But don't say I didn't warn you. He turns away, dismissing Marcus as a non-threat, and goes back to mingling. As Marcus watches Ethan interact with the other candidates, his mind drifts back to his own journey. He remembers his early years, how he balanced night shifts at a local diner while studying computer science at his community college. The odds had always been against him, but he believed in hard work and the value of persistence. He'd had mentors who believed in his potential, and that's what propelled him forward. When he was offered a position at Tech Innovate years ago, he seized the opportunity and climbed the ranks, not through privilege or connections, but through dedication, resilience, and the belief that talent and hard work could surpass any social barriers. Returning his focus to the present, Marcus watches Ethan, who is now laughing loudly with another candidate. Marcus's expression remains neutral, but a slight shift in his eyes suggests that he has already made up his mind about the man. This interview process, he knows, isn't just about finding the most technically qualified. It's about identifying the people who embody the company's values. Ethan, still confident, shoots Marcus one last smirk. Hope you're ready for the big leagues, man. This isn't some small-town tech firm. Marcus simply nods, replying with a quiet but resolute, I'm ready. The candidates are called one by one into the interview room, a sleek, glass-walled space that overlooks the bustling streets of Manhattan. Ethan walks confidently into the room when his turn arrives, flashing a winning smile at the panel of interviewers seated behind a large, polished table. The panel consists of 4 people, but his eyes immediately lock onto Marcus, who is sitting among them. Ethan's smile falters for a brief moment as he processes the sight of Marcus seated on the panel. His mind races, but he quickly masks his surprise, assuming Marcus must be a low-level HR staff member or a diversity consultant. Reassured by this thought, he regains his composure and leans back in his chair, his confidence returning in full force. The head interviewer, Ms. Perez, a middle-aged woman with a commanding presence, begins with the formalities. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Barnes. As you know, this is an important position. We're looking for someone who not only has technical expertise but also embodies our company's core values. Ethan nods, adjusting his posture to appear even more self-assured. Absolutely. I believe my experience and background make me the perfect fit for this role. Ms. Perez proceeds with questions about his technical skills and his experience managing teams in previous companies. Ethan's responses are polished and rehearsed. He clearly knows how to sell himself. He speaks about his work at a major tech firm, highlighting how he led several successful projects. The other panelists listen attentively, nodding as they take notes. Then it's Marcus's turn to ask a question. Ethan's eyes flicker as he meets Marcus's gaze, but he keeps his expression neutral. Marcus leans forward, his voice calm and professional. Can you tell us about a time when you faced a conflict in a diverse team and how you handled it? Ethan's confidence wavers slightly, but he quickly recovers. Well, I believe that when you're leading a team, you need to set a clear vision and keep everyone on track. Sometimes, certain people, who might not share the same work ethic or priorities, can cause disruptions, and it's important to manage them firmly. Marcus raises an eyebrow. What do you mean by certain people? Ethan hesitates for a split second before doubling down. You know, some people don't understand the urgency of getting things done. I've had to make tough decisions before, removing individuals who didn't fit the company's culture or pace. Marcus's face remains neutral, but Ms. Perez's expression changes slightly as she exchanges a glance with another panelist. We appreciate your honesty, she says, her tone measured. But at Tech Innovate, we value diverse perspectives and inclusive collaboration. How do you think your approach aligns with that? Ethan forces a smile, clearly sensing the shift in the room's atmosphere. I fully support diversity initiatives. I just believe that it's important to have the right people. People who can keep up and align with the company's goals. Marcus continues to press. What if those right people come from different backgrounds and bring diverse experiences that might not initially align with the company's traditional approach? Ethan's patience is visibly thinning. Well, that's the thing. The company needs to have a standard, and I believe it's more important to maintain that standard than to try to accommodate everyone. Otherwise, you lose efficiency. Marcus gives a small nod, making a note. Interesting perspective. The interview proceeds, but Ethan's responses become increasingly defensive as Marcus's questions focus on his ability to work in diverse teams and his understanding of the company's inclusive policies. Ethan tries to steer the conversation back to his strengths, highlighting his connections and network within the industry, but the tension in the room is palpable. As the interview concludes, Ms. Perez thanks Ethan for his time and professionalism. We will be in touch soon regarding our decision. Ethan rises, shaking hands with each of the panelists. When he reaches Marcus, he holds his hand for a moment longer, his eyes narrowing. Good luck in your role here, man. You'll need it. Marcus offers a polite smile. Thank you. We all do. Ethan exits the room and heads to the waiting area, where the other candidates are gathered. He paces the hallway, his mind racing with thoughts about the interview. He's confident that his experience and connections will still win him the role, but he can't shake the feeling of discomfort that Marcus's presence gave him. Just as he's about to leave, he overhears one of the other panelists on the phone. Yes, CEO Taylor was in the interview. He had some pointed questions. He's always thorough. Ethan freezes, his heart pounding. CEO Taylor? His eyes dart back to the interview room, and a sinking realization washes over him. Marcus, the man he had mocked and underestimated, is the CEO of Tech Innovate. His face flushes with embarrassment and disbelief. How could he have been so blind? Ethan remembers every insult he threw at Marcus, every time he belittled him based on assumptions about his background. Panic grips him as he realizes the consequences of his arrogance. Desperate to salvage the situation, Ethan hurries back to the lobby, hoping to catch Marcus before he leaves. He spots Marcus speaking with Ms. Perez and approaches with a nervous, forced smile. Mr. Taylor, I didn't realize. Marcus turns to him, his expression calm but firm. Didn't realize what, Mr. Barnes? Ethan stammers, his usual confidence gone. I didn't know you were the CEO. I'm really sorry if I said anything out of line earlier. It was just, well, you know how these things are. I was joking. Marcus's eyes remain steady, and he doesn't respond with anger or emotion. Instead, he simply nods. I understand. Relieved, Ethan starts to relax, thinking he might have a chance to recover. Great, great. I'd love to work with you. I think we could do amazing things together, given my experience and network. Marcus's face doesn't change. You know, Ethan, we value not just technical skills but also the character of our employees. We seek individuals who demonstrate respect, humility, and an ability to work collaboratively, regardless of background. Ethan swallows, sensing the conversation taking a turn he can't control. Of course, I completely agree. Marcus's voice remains calm but carries an edge of finality. Unfortunately, I didn't see those qualities in you today. This company is built on the idea that talent comes from all walks of life, and we don't make room for arrogance or entitlement. We need people who lift others up, not tear them down. Ethan's face goes pale. Wait, I didn't mean... Marcus cuts him off. You made your intentions clear, Mr. Barnes. I wish you the best in finding a company where your values align. He extends his hand, but there's no warmth in his gesture. Ethan hesitates before shaking it, realizing the gravity of his mistake. He has been rejected by the very man he underestimated and insulted. As Marcus walks away, Ethan stands there, his face flushed with embarrassment and regret. The weight of his actions finally sinks in. He's been taught a powerful lesson about humility and respect. Ethan stands in the lobby of Tech Innovate, still reeling from the interaction with Marcus. His mind races with disbelief. How could someone from such a modest background rise to become the CEO of the most successful tech company in New York City? He feels a mix of anger and humiliation. How could he have misjudged the situation so badly? Unable to accept the reality of the rejection, Ethan tries one last time to salvage his chances. He hurries to catch up with Marcus, who is walking toward the elevators with Ms. Perez. Swallowing his pride, Ethan approaches with a forced smile, masking the desperation in his eyes. "Mr. Taylor, please, just one more minute. Really, if I could explain myself, I think you'd see." Marcus pauses and turns to face him, his expression composed and professional. "There's nothing more that needs to be explained, Mr. Barnes. We've already made our decision." Ethan's face flushes. "But, Mr. Taylor, I think we got off on the wrong foot. If I'd known who you were." Marcus raises a hand, silencing him. "It's not about who I am. It's about how you treat people, regardless of who you think they are." Ethan tries to shift tactics, adopting a more apologetic tone. "I'm sorry if I came off the wrong way. It's just, I've been taught to compete hard, and sometimes I might say things I don't really mean." Marcus's eyes hold no anger, only a firm resolve. "We all have choices, Mr. Barnes. You chose to act with arrogance and entitlement. You assumed that your connections and background would speak for you instead of your character and skills. At Tech Innovate, we value integrity, respect, and the ability to collaborate with diverse teams, qualities you've shown you lack." Ethan's desperation turns to frustration. "But I've led teams, I've managed major projects. I know people. Important people who could be valuable to this company." Marcus remains calm. "This isn't a company built on connections. It's built on talent and innovation. And the way you've acted today shows that you prioritize yourself above the team, above the mission. That's not the kind of leader we want." Ethan's expression shifts, a hint of defiance creeping in. "So, what, are you saying this company is more interested in ticking diversity boxes than finding the best talent?" Marcus's eyes narrow, and his tone becomes pointed. "We're interested in finding people who understand that innovation comes from bringing different perspectives together. It's not about ticking boxes. It's about building a culture where everyone feels valued and heard, no matter their background." Ethan's shoulders slump, the weight of his failure settling in. He realizes that there is no talking his way out of this. "I see," he mutters, defeated. Marcus nods, his expression softening slightly but remaining firm. "Take this as a lesson, Ethan. Success isn't about where you come from or who you know. It's about how you choose to lead, treat others, and embody the values you claim to uphold. I hope you'll take this opportunity to reflect and grow." With that, Marcus turns and walks away, leaving Ethan standing alone in the lobby. The silence is deafening as he watches Marcus disappear into the elevator, the door closing with a finality that underscores the lesson he's just learned. Ethan stands there for a moment, feeling the weight of his arrogance and pride. He's been rejected not because of his skills, but because of his character, or rather, the lack of the right character. Weeks pass, and the sting of his rejection lingers in Ethan's mind. He finds himself replaying the events of that day, unable to escape the realization that he had been given a chance to prove himself, not just as a capable manager but as a person of integrity, and he had failed. Ethan starts to experience the fallout from his behavior. Word spreads through his network about how he lost the opportunity at Tech Innovate. Contacts who once showed him support become distant, and the respect he once commanded begins to slip away. He tries to apply for other positions in similar firms, but he notices a distinct chill in the responses he receives. The tech world, he learns, is smaller than he thought, and the influence he believed he had doesn't seem to carry as much weight anymore. One evening, sitting alone in his apartment overlooking the city, Ethan begins to reflect on his life and career. He realizes that for years, he's relied on his connections and privilege, using them as crutches instead of building genuine skills or fostering relationships based on respect and merit. He recalls the look in Marcus's eyes, calm, steady, unshaken by Ethan's attempts to intimidate or belittle him. For the first time, he begins to feel not just embarrassment but regret. A few months later, we see Marcus in his office, reviewing resumes for a new internship program the company has launched to support students from underrepresented communities. His eyes light up as he spots one applicant's name, Kayla Reynolds, a young woman from a low-income neighborhood who, like him, has fought to achieve her dream of working in tech despite the odds. Marcus invites Kayla for an interview. As she enters his office, nervous but determined, Marcus greets her with a warm smile. He takes a moment to share his own journey, showing her that no matter where she starts, hard work, perseverance, and respect for others can lead to success. Kayla's eyes shine with hope as she listens to Marcus's story. "Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Taylor," she says. "I've always believed that people deserve a chance based on their abilities, not their background." Marcus nods, his eyes reflecting a deep understanding. "That's what this company stands for. It's what I believe in, too." In a brief closing scene, Ethan is seen watching a video interview of Marcus on a tech news platform. Marcus talks about the importance of diversity and inclusion, and how different perspectives have driven Tech Innovate's success. Ethan feels a pang of regret and resolution. He knows he has a long way to go to change his mindset and earn back the respect he once took for granted. The story ends on a hopeful note. Marcus continues to build opportunities for those from disadvantaged backgrounds, using his position to make the industry more inclusive and innovative. And Ethan, though humbled, begins his journey of personal growth, finally understanding that true success isn't about who you know or where you come from, but who you choose to become.